Hey, welcome to Painted Medicine Studio in Salida, Colorado. I'm recording these for the 2025 Salida Studio Tour, but also to put on a YouTube page. My name is Dustin, and I'm telling you a little bit about how I got here. You could fast forward just a little bit if you've heard my story, but to summarize, I was not a painter at all. I was not into art. Had some pretty interesting, now in retrospect, monumental things that shaped who I became starting in about 2012. I had a severe traumatic brain injuries. Along the way, I had lost a career, a lot of deaths in my family, flipped a vehicle, more concussions, got kidnapped, that sucked. But I started painting. So here we are at 1 minute. This is a painting that I call Shamana. And I was scrolling through some images online, and I saw this image that looked a little bit similar to this, and it said on there, "I'll take your hate and turn it into war paint." And it had this image of this native lady with like a red streak down her cheek. And I thought that's a really cool image. And because at the time in that particular part of my transition in my life, I was shifting from the person that I was at that time to who I was becoming, and not the person that people who were familiar with me knew, right? And that actually drew, interestingly, a bit of shade, a bit of hate on who I was. And there was also some hate driven towards particularly my family that I didn't know how to combat. Some very hateful and racism type things that were directed. So my way of processing and solving things from about 2013 on has been with a paintbrush. 2014, I guess, was with a paintbrush. So this is, like I said, I'll turn your Shamana, as I call it. I'm not a big fan of titles, like when somebody calls himself a shaman or a shamana or enlightened. I don't even like when somebody refers to me as an artist. I view that as self-anointed titles as a little bit, I don't know, whatever. But I did like the title for this. When I first started painting, I was painting on paper. I was painting on drop cloth that you get from, say, the Ace Hardware drop paper, that red rosin paper. And some artists in my community said, you should really start painting on canvas and use some good paint. So I got some acrylics and painted on canvas, right? But it was actually drop cloth. So there's not brush strokes in here. I'll see if I can bring it a little closer. It just kind of blots. Canvas is meant to spread your paintbrushes, your brush across. Drop cloth is what I had in my studio to cover my floor. It's meant to soak up paint. So I like what turned out about it. So this is one of the first ones that I tried to make a frame for. I would definitely say it's not awesome, but yeah, so that's Shamana. You can find more of my stories on, I guess right now, YouTube Painted Medicine channel, and Instagram Painted_medicine, and I'm going to continue to make some of these stories. All right. Boom. Oh, one thing I forgot to say about this painting is shortly after this came about, and this happens a lot I found in my paintings, and maybe in a lot of artists' paintings, but I took a picture of a friend at a concert. She was actually a girlfriend of one of my good buddies, and he was playing on stage, and I caught a side profile of her. She was wearing big hoop earrings, and she had her hair kind of pulled back, and a necklace that landed just very similar to this, and her profile is very similar to this. So I find it fascinating. I don't have much of a philosophy as to why it happens, but I find it fascinating when something is painted that sort of manifests into life. It's actually kind of the reason I continued to paint it sometimes when I had no inspiration, to use the paintbrush as my way to kind of redesign my life. So anyhow, that's that for you.